Hello, welcome to a space-themed video for the YouTube channel. We're talking about Project Hail Mary. We just saw it, and we had a video talking about our thoughts before it, and our hopes and our fears, both having read the book, listened to it, read it, and so now we are here on the other side of that experience of seeing it in the theaters.
All our fears came true.
Yeah, it was pretty rough film.
Ryan Gosling, first mistake.
Yeah, and when we do this, we actually mean it the real way, you know?
Definitely not, yeah.
No, what were your thoughts in theater, thoughts out of theater?
Thoughts in theater, I really had to pee at some of the best moments. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
you did, though.
I did, but
Yeah.
I really wanted to not. Anyways. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, in theater, I always enjoy a movie. On the big screen, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's exciting. There's so much going on. It's loud. You're very present. You can't really be distracted because it's so loud. It's a theater. So, that's always nice, capturing. And then I just really enjoyed it. I didn't feel bored. I didn't feel like overwhelmed or confused. And I think I would have felt maybe confused if I hadn't have read the book.
Yeah.
But because I read the book, I felt like it was, way better. So without the book, I'm not sure I would love it. Like if you haven't read the book, I would suggest reading the book. But because I read the book, I feel like there was so much more backstory that it doesn't show in the movie because they just don't have enough time.
Yeah. And
then that just made me enjoy the movie so much more. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I agree with basically all of that. They're definitely were things that they missed, but again, I think it was just a time constraint. Yeah. 2.5 hours is a long movie, but there's only so much that they could focus on, and maybe there was like a couple scenes that they could have trimmed down a little bit to add in a couple more explanations on why they did things. Because I really do think that even though I had read the book, I hadn't read it for probably 6 months. I read it sometime last summer.
Yeah.
And so there were bits in the movie where I was questioning what was going on a little bit, and then the memory of what I read kind of triggered, and then I understood what was happening. So that happened a couple times, and I do think that if you hadn't read it, you would maybe be lost a little bit. So that everybody that we saw it with had already read it. So that would be interesting to know people who haven't understood the book. And really it's the second half of the film where they kind of are going through how to solve the problems. The spaceship, the astrophage, all that stuff.
There's so much.
And so those things, because the thing with Andy Weir books, at least the two that he's made that I've read, The Martian and this one, they're not really like, there's no enemy, there's no antagonist that's human necessarily. It's just kind of the elements. So he's fighting against space, he's fighting against the technology, something that's breaking down or deteriorating. And I think a lot of that stuff shone through and was done really well, but benefited from reading the book. And so I think, some of that conflict was maybe lost a little bit if you didn't know all the outside things.
I would be really curious if any of you have not read the book but you watched the movie and you enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it. I'd love if you left a comment to see kind of like what your thought was, or if you really enjoyed it and you thought you grasped everything, or if you felt a little bit lost and like there wasn't enough explanation for things.
Highlights? Favorite part of the...
I really liked Rocky.
Yeah, okay.
I thought Rocky was really good.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen any trailers or anything, as I mentioned in the video before. So I was excited to see what he's going to look like. I don't know if I just missed the part of them saying that he was smaller, but for some reason I expected him to be way bigger. Like the whole book, I imagined him being bigger, but I think I just...
Like as big as Grace?
Yeah, like about Grace's size or bigger.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like just this like massive spider looking thing.
Yeah.
But he was so cute,
Yeah.
And and I really enjoyed the way when he does go to like the Iridian's planet. It's Iridian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked the way they did that and how they made Grace's like habitat.
Yeah.
And then he goes to like teach school, and you can see that they're all in darkness and rocks. Yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of cool, because obviously, if you've seen it and you've read it, then you know that they don't see right here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They hit everything that's in the movie, as far as I could tell. Maybe there were some mistakes, but everything in there was spot on for what is in the book. They maybe...
There was the one I thought that they kind of messed up, which they could have done differently, but it was easier probably just to do it the way they did it. But it's the eating. In the book, Rocky is like very like, no, Grace, that's disgusting, don't eat. But in the movie, he's like, no, that's disgusting, watch me eat. Like, it's beautiful how I eat. But they're so embarrassed about how they read, how they eat in the book.
Yeah. It was played for a little bit more for laughs in the movie. And I've seen a couple other people's critique about it, saying that it was too comedic, like the whole movie at large. It was just too many jokes, not enough seriousness, not enough sincerity, and they weren't really critiquing like Gosling's performance. They were just saying like the movie on a whole was just too silly.
Yeah, right.
I don't know that I don't think I felt like there was that much brevity. There were moments that were funny, obviously, but overall, that I think the sense, like the feeling from the books, felt like it was in the movies, where it was this guy who just felt like he was in the wrong situation, but he had to make the best of it and figure out things. And
his memory is barely there. He's he's figuring out things as he goes, and so he's just like, this is obviously what I wanted to do. This was my dream all along.
Yeah.
I got to figure it out.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I don't think it was maybe as visually like outstanding as I thought it would be. There were moments for sure where it really was the difference between his ship and Rocky's ship, and
that was crazy.
The planet that they went on to get the Talmiba that eat the astrophage.
I forgot what it's called.
That was interesting.
That was really cool.
The whole like the chain. So there were definitely moments, but I guess for some reason my brain was thinking there would be like
interstellar
levels of visual, like space visuals, and maybe there were.
Nothing quite gets reaches Interstellar.
Interstellar, yeah, I do think Interstellar is still better than this. They're different. They're kind of different.
But it's one of the best
avenues
movies of all time.
Yeah,
Interstellar
is great. Yeah,
so
this is good.
I enjoyed it. I mean, we've only seen it once, so
yeah, that's true.
We gotta see it at least 2 more times.
Yeah, probably not in theaters, but
no,
at home we'll see it a couple more times. I thought Gosling. I thought his acting was really good. I thought all the acting was really good. I'm gonna forget her name.
Yeah.
The main female character who leads everybody.
Starts with an S.
Yeah. I can throw it up on screen. If you know. Her acting was incredible. I thought like perfect delivery, facial expressions, just the voice, the look, everything was really good compared to what the book made me think of.
Portrayed.
And so she was really good. And we didn't see a whole lot of the other astronauts, whereas in the book he has more memories of them.
And there was like
a little bit of a love story between a couple of them.
You get to know their characters, how they're very like blunt and like they're just very sciencey. Like very like, this is how it is. This is how
Yeah. You didn't have as much of that, and again, just not enough time. And they're revealed dead very early on in the movie, in the first the opening song, whatever you want to call it. So I understand that like we don't have as much time to flesh these characters out. So and the big focal point of the movie is Grace and Rocky and their relationship, I think.
Yeah, the first like 10 chapters of the book happen in like the first 5 minutes. It literally just. Another reason that's nice to read the book because you are watching it and you're like, oh yeah, this all happened.
Yeah.
And it's like you get to see it now.
Yeah.
But you already know kind of what happened.
Yeah, I do think this one lends more to reading the book first than The Martian, if we're going to compare the two. And they're not that similar in what kind of movies they are. They kind of are, but they're not. And I think The Martian works better, or it holds up more on its own as a film.
Yeah, I can't say I've only seen The Martian.
Yes, true.
I've never read it, and I really like The Martian. I think it's a really good movie. But yeah, I thought about reading it, and you're like, that's even more sciencey, and so I'm like, it's not really my cup of tea.
If you enjoyed the Project Hail Mary, you'd probably enjoy it.
That's true.
I mean, it has, Andy Weir's a good writer, and so even the sciencey bits are well written and entertaining, even if you don't really understand everything that's going on. But I do think that The Martian, for me at least, was a little bit harder to understand from the science side of things. And again, I'm not a huge science understander.
Science,
I just not smart enough. Musically, I did think that it would have more pop songs or like 80s songs, kind of,
more upbeat.
It had the Beatles song, the one Beatles song once, that
I didn't know that song.
Selling the Beatles. Yeah, I didn't know it either.
Yeah, neither did Carly. Shout out to Carly, huge Beatle fan, our sister-in-law.
Yeah.
I should know either.
She was there. She didn't know it. She's a big Beatles fan. But it was a good song. It was a good song. Good moment.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I thought I don't know if you're a fan of the channel and you saw my short talking about songs that I thought would be in the movie. Not one of those was in the movie, and that was sort of a silly video. I was kind of
But you could add Harry Styles.
But that was in the trailer, so I wasn't trying to be that serious. I was kind of joking, like these are kind of spacey songs. And I had like 2 David Bowie songs in there, and I had a prayer from Father Mike Schmitz, so I knew I was being silly, but still, I was thinking that there would be some sort of like 80s, 70s song that would fit, but there really wasn't. But the soundtrack was good. That's not to say that it was bad.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it. It just wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So.
Yeah. One more thing before we finish.
Yeah.
I also really liked the way the ending was. Like, I liked how they showed her I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
I liked how they showed her receiving it, and you realize, oh yeah, they're in an ice age because it took like 13 years to get there, and it probably took the probes or whatever, the beetles 13 years to get back.
Yeah.
So it's been 26 years, and they said it was going to be 30 years, and a lot of the population was going to be dead.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, of course they're in the middle of an ice age type thing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. I didn't really think about that in the book.
Well, I think in the book they don't they get a signal like it's been 13 years or something that he's been on the planet.
Rocky says that the scientists
they notice that the star has stopped dimming or something like that. Yeah,
and so they know that it's worked.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So there is closure there in the book too, but you don't actually see her interact with that information. But yeah, no, that was good. That's a good point out. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all we have.
Yeah.
It was good. I recommend going to see it.
Yeah, whether you've read it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
let us know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see it without reading the book. And I'm usually always kind of a book first, truther. No matter what, read the book if you can. If it was based off of a book, because I'm convinced that that's almost every time that's the better way to view the medium, whatever it was made in first. There's a couple there are a couple exemptions to that, but for the most part, if you can read the book, you should read the book or listen. Same thing for most of the time. But yeah, this was good. I enjoyed it. It's fun to go to the theaters and see Ryan Gosling. Gosling. He's great. He really captured the character well, and Rocky was fun. It's all good. Yeah. We've said it all.
Good movie.
Thanks for watching, and we'll probably do another movie review if we ever see another movie in theaters or just in general, and maybe we'll finish our Gunslinger series, Dark Tower series. But thanks for watching, and you'll see us in the next one.